I shot every one of them people.
Well, the suspect accused of shooting 5 people, killing 1 in Riviera Beach, as you see there, just faced a judge.
Jolie Rodriguez is at the Palm Beach County Jail, where the suspected gunman gave a point-blank admission before the court.
Well, it was truly a courtroom shocker when the suspect, 20-year-old Terrell Gibson, spoke on the shooting. Now, Gibson goes on to detail his mental health struggles. Then he says that none of the victims died, but then goes on to admit, saying that he shot them all within a span of 5 minutes.
I shot every one of them people in their head. They're not making it back.
The suspect, 20-year-old Terrell Gibson, faces several charges, including first-degree murder and attempted first-degree murder. Police say Gibson shot 5 people Monday night. It all started around 6:15 inside the Azure Estates community in Riviera Beach. The police chief says it appears Gibson was having a mental breakdown, as he describes hearing voices in his head, insisting he get a gun and shoot people. Gibson fled and attempted to carjack multiple vehicles. Police say he then shot 3 more victims and ultimately succeeds in taking a vehicle and fleeing. According to police reports, one of the victims was his own cousin. In Gibson's first appearance on Wednesday, he repeatedly claims that he can see things that others can't.
I'm fighting something I can't even see. I see it at night. I see it now looking at you.
He goes on to deny that anyone was killed during the shooting, but admits that he shot people in the head just minutes later. Attorneys in the room then warn him that anything he says can be used against him in his trial.
I don't care because I'm speaking the truth in my heart. I don't care about you saying my I don't care.
The murder charge alone carries a minimum sentence of life in prison with no parole if convicted. Reporting in Palm Beach County, Jolie Rodriguez, WPBF 25 News.
Shalom. Call Allah Yahweh Shem Shai by Shem Rokakadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops at Great Millstone that taught us this truth and ruled well, and to the men that taught them. Peace and blessings to the elect, the nation of Israel, and that begins with the 144,000 who are the prophets today, and also the great multitude of men, women, and children the Heavenly Father is going to have mercy on. And you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, we are the true Hebrew Israelites, and that is according to the Holy Scriptures. Coming with another lesson is your brother Dawadah, and this lesson is entitled, Menstrual Women Should Bring Forth Demons, which is pretty much, just bring forth, none but young YN niggas. And you see that right here in that video I just showed you, that our people, pretty much, that's why, we say we're under the curses, you know what I'm saying? Our families are messed up, man. And we are in this matrix, you know what I'm saying? Which is made up by the wicked, you know what I'm saying? This society which is ran by nothing but women, you know what I'm saying? And this is the example that you see in this video, and the reason why our families are guided by the woman, you know what I'm saying? And mostly the nigger woman, you know what I'm saying? And this is a prime example. The mindset of this young man is totally messed up, man. It's messed up. And the problem with the society today is, this young man is a teenager, but in the Most High eyes, he see him as an adult, because the Most High see if when you turn 12 years old, you are technically a man to the Most High. When you can, you know what I'm saying, nut, you know what I'm saying, slakia for the vote. When you can do that, you know what I'm saying, then you consider a man. When you can get a woman pregnant and lay down with a woman like him, he can get a woman pregnant. You know what I'm saying? He's not no teenager. He's a grown-ass man. But the society, which is led by the so-called white man, which is the devil, which messed up this whole entire, world, especially over here in Babylon the Great, he sees this man as a kid, you know what I'm saying? A teenager, a young man, And that's why, you know, the so-called white man has messed his world up, and now that's why it's weak, because there's no structure. You know what I'm saying? Let's go to Proverbs 29 verse 15 and read verse 16. Slacky. The rod and reproof give wisdom, but a child left to himself bring his mother to shame. Yeah. So if you see here, you know what I'm saying, the time we in now, most of these women are, you know, they definitely probably ashamed of what their kids do. You know what I'm saying? You know, when their kids is doing like evil things. And in this case right here, this incident here, man, I know that this woman is probably like, you know what I'm saying, it's a shame, you know, of her son. You know what I'm saying? The thing that he has done, which is wrong right here, you know what I'm saying? But in his eyes, he don't see he did nothing. You know what I'm saying? He don't see that he did anything wrong. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and let me jump down to verse 17. Correct thy son, and he should give thee rest. Yeah. He should give delight unto thy soul. Yeah. So because if you look at it today, these boys, you know, there's no correction, you know, at all. You know what I'm saying? Because there's no father in the household. And you can see that by nothing but school shootings, you know what I'm saying? You know, especially with our households, you know what I'm saying? There's no structure, I'm saying, it's like it. And the problem is because of Esau and the nigger woman raising them. And this is the product right here that you seen in that video. And you heard what he said to the judge at the very end, talking about he don't care what he say, what he's saying. You know what I'm saying? But who has to take the blame of it? Esau, the judge, them, their people. Because now they're trying to point the finger at, like, no, they're something wrong with them. No, you taught our people that. You took the man out the household. You had the woman go against the man. You took the man out the household. And now this is what you get. You know what I'm saying? What was in that video? Yeah. And she has no delight in her soul. You know what I'm saying? That is why, you know what I'm saying? That's why we have to reset, this place. This place has to be destroyed, man. And we got to start all over again. You know, a righteous kingdom. You know what I'm saying? Not this place. This place is done, man. This place is just gotta go, man. You know? Let's go to 2nd Ezra chapter 5, verse 8. There should be a confusion also in many places, and the fire should be sent out again. And the wild beasts should change their places, and Menstrous women should bring forth monsters. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And what this woman has raised is a monster. You know what I'm saying? You know? And like I said again, there's no man around. You already know that. You know what I'm saying? Because just listen to the way he was talking in the video. You know what I'm saying? I shot them all in the head. You know what I'm saying? What you doing with a gun anyway? You know, but that's how it is. They infiltrated our neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? And put guns in our neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? And who got them? Emotional jakes like this. You know what I'm saying? Raised by Big Mama. You know what I'm saying? You know? Because they're not teaching them how to be a man. They just going off nothing but emotions. You know? And we know why. The reason why. Because the man is not in the household to establish the discipline, you know, with that child. You know what I'm saying? But see, you got some men, you know what I'm saying, that is in the household too, and they teaching them how to be gangbangers, pimps, you know what I'm saying, to hold their women out. Hold our women out, you know what I'm saying? But for the most part now, you know what I'm saying, you got the elect, the hopefully elect, which is stepping up to the plate. You know what I'm saying? Taking care of our responsibilities. Because we don't want no niggas around us. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't taking care of your family and you ain't being a man that you supposed to be and take care of your responsibility, then of course, you know what I'm saying, you need to be cussed out. You know what I'm saying? You're going to cuss your ass out and tell you to take care of your responsibilities, you know? Because we supposed to be leaders in our household, you know what I'm saying? We don't supposed to be no weak-ass feminine nigga, you know what I'm saying? We taking back our families and we being husbands, you know, dads, and we doing what's right, you know? We saying, fuck you, Esau. You fucked our families up, and we coming after your ass for fucking our families up. Sorry, Slocky. I'm pissed off now. This is on my spirit this week, and I wanted to bring this out. You know what I'm saying? Because our people need to, you know, our people need help. You know what I'm saying? The whole head is sick. You know what I'm saying? And that's how we supposed to do. We supposed to train our child up. You know. Let me get that Proverbs 22:6 because our households are all messed up, and they messed up for a reason, you know. Proverbs chapter 22 verse 6: train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. Yeah. So you see, when there is no man around, majority of the time, you know, that kid is gonna act out. You know what I'm saying? But when you have that man in the household, you know what I'm saying, he put that fear in them. You know what I'm saying? He lets them know, hey, you know what I'm saying? Act up and see what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you have to do. You have to train them up when they're a little kid, you know, from the time they're a baby on up. You know what I'm saying? To put that fear in them, you know? Because, you know, I come from the old school. That's what they did. You know what I'm saying? They put that fear in you, and then you know you got to act right. And that's the same thing we do, same thing today. We got to fear Yahweh Shemi Al-Shai. You know what I'm saying? Because that's important, you know. We don't supposed to disobey Yahweh Shema Al-Shai, you know, because most of our people today and our kids, they don't even respect their parents. You know what I'm saying? You know, talking back to their parents, doing all kind of crazy crap, you know. But hey, you know, that's what you got to do. You got to train them up, you know, while they're a child. You know what I'm saying? So they'll know, you know what I'm saying, how to conduct themselves in the right manner. And when they get older, they will not depart from this truth. You know what I'm saying? You know? Let's go to Mark chapter 3, verse 27. Yeah. Because that was, man, just watching that video, man. You know, like I said again, the whole head is sick. Our people just through, man. Esau messed our people up, man. You know? And they don't want to take no credit for it. They trying to point the finger back at us. No, you always been like. No, we haven't always been like that. You know, it's because it's you, Esau. You in control. The earth is given to the hand of the wicked. Job 9:24. You the one has, you know, messed up our household. You know, from, you know, man, woman, and children. But you know what? Now it's a remnant is waking up now, and we already done caught on what you doing. You know what I'm saying? That's why we don't want you around our families. You know what I'm saying? Let's go to Mark chapter 3, verse 27. And no man can enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods, except he will first bind the strong man, and then he will spoil his house. Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? Our man, you know, today, they became weak and bind up. Because most of our men in the prison, you know. And the reason why most of our men is in prison is because they've been taught by an emotional woman. Not saying women, you know, can't teach a man, you know, something, but it has to be with the man. The man has to be in that household to help him to have, you know, a structure in his life. You know what I'm saying? He puts that rod on him, you know, so he can, you know, do right. You know what I'm saying? Because when there's no father in the household, it's going to be nothing but chaos. And you see it right here, which I just showed you in that video, you know. Esau has played the trick on our women, you know what I'm saying, by deceiving her. by getting rid of, you know what I'm saying, the man in the household. And that's what he knew what he was doing, you know what I'm saying? You know? And when it's boys, you know, they're only gonna listen to you for so long, you know what I'm saying? Which they are men when they turn 12, you know what I'm saying? You know, because that's what Esau do. When you go to court, he pretty much, you know, look at you as a man, you know what I'm saying? You 12 and up, he charges you, you know, he gives you, you know, pretty much he gives you those sentence where you a man, you know what I'm saying? You ain't no kid, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said again, when a man is not in a household, they're gonna act out, you know what I'm saying? And that's why we need, you know, someone in their ears at all times, you know what I'm saying? That rod is important. Whoop their ass when they get out of line, you know what I'm saying? You know? Not just a woman, you know what I'm saying? Because that's why things are all messed up today. But when you look at things, man, you can look at which is the East Indians today and the Arabs today. Man, whenever I go to the park and everything, man, which in the Bible, you know, East Indians are Elam and the Arabs are Ishmael. Man, they always have a two-family household, man. They always do, man. It's never where the man is not in the household, man. You know? And that's what, you know, the hopefully elect, and that's what we're doing. We're putting our families back together, you know what I'm saying? You know? Because they know the devil, you know what I'm saying? They're not going to allow the devil to infiltrate their families, you know what I'm saying? You know? And the best thing for us to do, man, is stay away from this devil, the so-called white man, and keep him away from our families, you know what I'm saying? You know? You know? Because that's important. You know? That's why the Most High in Deuteronomy 32 and 8, he separated the families by the children of Israel, you know what I'm saying? Paraphrasing. You know, and that's how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be what we're supposed to be separate from them. The 12 tribes of Israel, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Because since we have joined in with them, they have really messed our families up and messed us up. And that's why they have brought, you know, forth Menstrous women should bring forth demons. You know what I'm saying? With that, let's read that back again. Second Ezra, let me go back to that. Second Ezra chapter 5, verse 8. They brought back monsters. There should be confusion also in many places, and the fire should be sent out again, and the wild beasts should change their places, and mistress women should bring forth monsters. And that's what you see now. Nothing but monsters. You know what I'm saying? You know, emotional monsters. First thing what they're trying to do is, because back in the day we put them knuckles on you. But now what they do is, the first thing they're doing is they jumping and trying to get their gun to shoot you. And that's what he did, you know what I'm saying? Emotional, you know, weak, young Jake got his gun, and what did he say? He shot them all in the head, you know what I'm saying? And I bet you it wasn't no father in the household, you know what I'm saying? But that's what you get. But this is how our family is supposed to be. And I'm going to end on this. 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 3. But I will have you know that the head of every man is a Mashiach, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of a Mashiach is God. So you see it right here in this verse right here. It says Yahweh, a Mashiach, which is Yahweh Shai, man, woman, and children. It don't say no woman ahead of, you know, the Most High, or head of Yahweh Shai, or even head of the man. But today, the way Esau did was he knew what he was doing. He started way back in the 80s, you know, and he had an agenda to mess our families up, that not to get a man a job, because I know, I seen it with my father. You know, I'm struggling to get a job, struggling to keep a job. But Esau knew what he was doing. Well, he give all his people jobs, his men jobs. He allow us, what they gonna do? They gonna do some conniving stuff. And then what they're going to do, they're going to end up in prison. But you know what, Esau, we got your number now. We know what's going on. You have set up something, that now it's going to come back on you. You know what I'm saying? You reap what you sow, Galatians 6 and 7. And you going to reap what you sow. So right here in this scriptures, chapter 1 Corinthians chapter 11 and 3, let me read that again and I'm going to close out. But I will have you know that the head of every man is a Mashiach, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Mashiach is the Most High. Yeah. So this is the order where it's supposed to be. If it was like this, then we wouldn't be having crazy crap like what was going on in this video with this young Jake. You know what I'm saying? We wouldn't have Menstrous women bringing forth, monsters. And that's what you have to this day. So I want to say, I hope that was edifying. You know what I'm saying? I want to say Shalom, call all Yahweh Bashim Yahushai Bashim Rakakadash. The bottles to the apostles, elders, and bishops at Great Millstone. Salutations to the Akim on the four corners of this earth, preaching his word, preaching his truth, risking their lives each and every week on the highways and the byways. And to the brothers and sisters, tune in for edification. Shalom.